Hi, I'm Angie and this is UK Money Wisdom, where I provide financial information on pensions and those saving for retirement, always with a calm and clear approach. Today, we are looking at a subject that will help clear up quite a few misunderstandings where managing your money is involved, and I'll give you 6 clear ways to help you manage your own finances. Do you know, some of the most financially careful pensioners in the UK feel poor even when they aren't. And at the same time, some people with far less money feel calm, steady, and secure. Now, if you're thinking, oh, that's just their attitude and mindset, it's a little bit more than that. So do stay with me, because that contradiction tells us something important. In retirement, wealth isn't always about how much money you have. It's about how safe your life feels when something goes wrong. And right now, many sensible people are quietly asking themselves, I'm doing everything carefully, so why don't I feel secure? If that thought has crossed your mind, even once, this video's for you. So why does this question weigh so many people down? I'll try and explain. We are surrounded by numbers, big numbers, loud numbers, such as you need £1 million to retire, average pension pots, top 10% wealth. But here's the problem. Those headlines rarely answer the question people actually care about in retirement. We're more likely to ask, will my life feel steady, not just today, but for the rest of our lives? Wealth used to mean safety. Somewhere along the way, it became competition, and many people who have lived carefully, worked hard, and avoided recklessness are being made to feel as though they've somehow fallen behind. They haven't. The conversation has just become disconnected from real life. Let's examine what a real-world definition of wealth actually means, and I'll give you 3 actual lived states. In retirement, wealth doesn't arrive as one magic number. It's not just about these 3 lived experiences that I'm going to give you, but I'll tell you about them, then I'll go on to what this video is really about. So, the 3 lived experiences, and most people move between them, are comfortable. You can cover housing, bills, food, modest enjoyment. You're not struggling, but you're watchful. Life works, but there isn't much slack. The next lived state is secure. You can absorb life's bumps. You know what I mean by that? That means when the boiler breaks, a dental bill arrives, a family member needs help. And while it's annoying, it doesn't cause panic. You don't fear every envelope or bank notification. And then there's wealthy, and you have choice over when to spend, when to help, when to rest, when to say no. And that's not because money is endless, but because fear of running out has loosened its grip. That is real wealth in retirement. Let's look at what the numbers actually look like in a UK context, shall we? Because I always try to ground what I tell you in reality. Not fantasy, not headlines, but a real UK retirement life. So the comfortable for a single person is income of roughly £14,000 to £18,000 a year. And that's often a state pension and a small workplace or personal pension. They are mortgage-free and have low housing costs. Many people here feel okay, but cautious, and find it extremely difficult to manage the bumps. Next, you have the secure single person, and that's income around £20,000 to £25,000 every year. Usually a full state pension, modest private pension, and some savings or pension drawdown as a buffer. Housing costs are usually stable in this case. This is where anxiety often starts to fall away. Now, moving on to the wealthy by real life standards, you have income of between £28,000 and £35,000 a year, capital of perhaps £150,000 to £400,000 plus state pension, and your housing is secure. This is not, I hasten to add, millionaire territory, but it is the point where money stops dominating every decision you make. These ranges broadly align with long-run UK data from the Office for National Statistics and the Institute for Fiscal Studies and pension research bodies, and they reflect how retirement actually feels, not how it looks on paper. But let's move on to what I really want to talk about. Why does pension pot size alone mislead? Because someone with a large pension pot, complex investments, constant decision making can feel less secure than someone with simpler income, fewer moving parts, predictable money, because uncertainty is exhausting. And in retirement, energy is precious. Peace of mind is not a soft benefit. It is one of the most valuable assets you can have. I'd like to talk about housing because this is often the divider. Housing doesn't need to be impressive, you know. It needs to be stable. Whether that's owning outright, a manageable mortgage, or secure long-term rent, all of us usually find when housing is stable, income stretches further, stress reduces, retirement stops feeling fragile. Then you start to enter a different world completely. When you get down to it, two people on the same income can feel worlds apart. And housing is often the reason why. Have you ever thought to yourself what income over capital means and where in retirement you should consider a wise shift? Well, in retirement, something important changes. Reliability beats optimization. Predictability beats performance. Simplicity beats cleverness. It's about recognizing that calm is more valuable than complexity, when time and energy matter more than maximizing returns. So we're going to get down to the nitty-gritties now, how to really feel wealthy in retirement, and what you have. This is where everything comes together. These are the 6 points I mentioned. Number 1, know your baseline. Your baseline is simple. What does my life cost when it's calm and ordinary? Not emergencies, not holidays, just normal life. When people know this, fear eases because income becomes real, not abstract. Number 2, do stabilise housing if this is causing angst, because housing stability means income isn't constantly under attack. Decisions feel lighter. Retirement feels survivable long term. Security beats luxury every time in my book. The word luxury takes on a different meaning. I'll go into this another time if it's not clear already, but I'd love to hear your take on that in the comments. Number 3, do protect predictable income, because predictable income reduces anxiety. removes constant decision making, and restores your confidence. This is why many wise pensioners value certainty over chasing returns. Moving on to number 4, keep your finances understandable. Take out the complexity, in other words. If you don't understand your finances, they will never feel safe. Clarity restores control. Simple does not mean unsophisticated, it means sustainable. Knowledge, your power, as I always tell you, and I'm here to make your finances understandable with all the information I share several times each week. So do subscribe if you want to always be notified of my videos. Number 5, you do need to hold a modest buffer. And you know what I mean by that. And the buffer doesn't mean having hoards, it's to provide a breathing space. They stop small shocks becoming big shocks. You don't need more, you need enough. And finally, number 6, ignore the headline noise. Headlines are designed to alarm, and this includes all the myths that you're told today, and I'll dispel those as well in my videos. Because your life shouldn't be lived as a headline. Comparison will steal your peace. Noise erodes confidence. Wealth, you see, grows quietly when you measure life on your terms. When these 6 things are in place, with a baseline known, housing is stable, income predictable, finances understandable, buffers present, and noise ignored, then you stop asking, do I have enough? Am I wealthy enough? And then you start feeling, I'm okay. And that's enough. That is real wealth in retirement. If retirement feels different from what you expected, that doesn't mean you failed. All it means is the world changed. Here on UK Money Wisdom, I'll continue to explain pensions, tax, and retirement choices calmly and clearly so you can feel steady again. If you're feeling just comfortable, leave a comment as to what would make you feel more secure right now. Please remember that all the UK tax details match the 2025-26 rules as we hold them. And I don't offer financial advice. I'm not a professional financial service advisor. And what I give you is information so that you have knowledge. Because as I always say on this channel, knowledge is our power. Because you won't want to miss my next video, which will build on everything I've told you in this video. So all that remains is for me to say, have a lovely day. This is Angie from UK Money Wisdom. Bye for now.